Title: The House That Waited. On the far end of Willow Street stood a house no one wanted to talk about. It wasn't falling apart, but it looked too still. The paint on its walls never faded, the flowers in its garden never wilted, and the curtains in its windows never moved, even when the wind howled. For as long as anyone in the town of Fernvale could remember, no one had gone inside. Not even on a dare. But 11-year-old Mia was different. She had moved to Fernvale only 2 weeks ago, and wasn't weighed down by the town's superstitions. One afternoon, her new friend Jonah pointed at the house from the safety of the sidewalk. "They say it's been waiting," he whispered. "Waiting for what?" Mia asked. "No one knows. But my grandpa says if you go inside, the house learns who you are." Mia laughed it off. Houses can't learn. That's just a story. Still, the thought clung to her like a shadow. And a week later, when a storm rolled in and the streets were empty, Mia found herself standing at the gate. The front door wasn't locked. Inside, the air was warm, but there was no smell, no dust, no wood, no hint of old furniture, just a clean emptiness. The hallway stretched longer than it should have, lined with doors on both sides. She opened the first door on her right. It led to a kitchen. But not just any kitchen, this one looked exactly like the one from her old house in the city. The same blue tiles, the same dent in the fridge door where her brother had once thrown a baseball indoors. On the counter sat a plate of her favorite cookies. She stepped forward, but before she could take one, she noticed something odd. Out of the corner of her eye, the wallpaper seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting, as if the house was alive. Mia backed out quickly and opened the next door. This time, she found her school classroom, down to the very seat she had taken on her first day in Fernvale. Her backpack was sitting under the desk. She reached for it, but a faint creak sounded behind her. The door had closed on its own. "Mia." She froze. The voice came from nowhere, and yet it felt like it had spoken inside her mind. "Welcome home." She spun and yanked the door open, racing back into the hallway. It felt longer now, stretching so far she couldn't see the end. She opened another door, desperate to find an exit. This time, she stepped into a small bedroom lit by moonlight. At first, she thought it was empty until she saw a shape in the bed. A figure lay beneath the blankets, unmoving. "Mia," the voice whispered again. "Lie down. This is your room now." The blankets shifted, just enough to reveal a pale hand reaching out toward her. Mia bolted, slamming the door behind her. The hallway lights flickered, and the floorboards began to pulse under her feet, like a giant heartbeat. She ran until she saw the front door ahead. She lunged for it, but when she opened it, she didn't see Willow Street. She saw the same hallway again. The house laughed, not out loud, but inside her head, in a soundless ripple that made her stomach turn. Then she remembered Jonah's words. "The house learns who you are." Maybe it knew her favorite cookies, her school, even her fears. She took a deep breath. "You don't know everything," she whispered, and then she turned and ran, not away, but deeper into the house. She opened door after door, refusing to react to the tricks it showed her. The hallway began to twist, the rooms melting into each other like oil on water. Finally, she saw a tiny door at the very end of the hall. She crawled through and tumbled out. Onto Willow Street. The storm had passed. The house stood behind her, still and perfect as always. But now, in the top window, the curtains had moved just a little, and someone was watching. Mia never told anyone exactly what happened inside, but whenever she walked past with Jonah, she could feel it. The house was still waiting, and it knew her name.